Hello everyone, my name is Twinkle Patel from Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center Navsari. This video lecture is about Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm. So in this video lecture we will cover Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm, primitive root, how to find primitive root in Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm. After that we will see the algorithm in detail and then we will see the example of the Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm. After that we will see the illustration of the algorithm and at last we will see how to perform man in the middle attack in the Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm. So first of all, as the name suggests, Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm. So this algorithm is used to exchanging the key between the sender and the receiver. So as we all know, in symmetric key encryption algorithm, the sender and receiver share the secret key with each other. So this secret key is shared between the sender and receiver using some secure channel or the third party or the key distribution center. So there is no any secure manner. So there is requirement of the secure channel to share that secure key, secret key. So for that this Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm is used. The algorithm itself is a asymmetric key cryptographic algorithm, but it is used to share the symmetric key. So the purpose of Diffie-Hellman algorithm is enable the two user to securely exchange a symmetric key which is known as a secret key and which is used for the subsequent encryption of the message. This algorithm is depend for its effectiveness on the difficulty of computing discrete algorithms. It is a symmetric key algorithm which is used to exchange the symmetric key. So Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm is used to exchanging the key between the sender and receiver. It is not an encryption or decryption algorithm. It is a asymmetric key algorithm which is used to exchange the symmetric key. So now we will see how to what is primitive root and how to find the primitive root. So suppose p is a prime number. Now alpha is a primitive root of p if powers of a modulo p generate all the integers from 1 to p minus 1 in some permutation. So for example p is equal to 7 which is then primitive root is a 3. P is equal to 7 is a prime number. Then the primitive root is 3 because power of 3 mod 7 generates all the integers from 1 to 6. See here the example. 3 is a primitive root of 7 if and only the power of 3 mod 7 gives us the all the integer of 1 to p minus 1, that is 1 to 6. So 3 raised to 1 mod 7 gives us a 3, 3 raised to 2 mod 7 gives us a 2, 3 raised to 3 mod 7 gives us a 6, 3 raised to 4 mod 7 gives us a 4, 3 raised to 5 mod 7 gives us a 5, 3 raised to 6 mod 7 gives us a 1. So in that way we are getting the numbers from 1 to 6, that is equal to p minus 1. So 3 is a primitive root of a 7. So in this way we have to check for all the numbers and any prime numbers have more than one primitive root. So this is useful to calculate the primitive root in the example of Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithms. Next, we will see the algorithm. So first of all, we have two global public elements which is known by sender as well as receiver. That is Q, which is a prime number, and alpha, its primitive root, which is less than Q. After that, we have two users, user A and user B. So user A select a private number XA which is less than Q. That is, we have a global prime number Q, and then generate its public key YA. So user A's private key is XA and generate public key YA using the alpha and the private key. So alpha raised to XA mod Q is a public key of the user A. So in the same way user B also select the private number or integer xb which is less than q and calculate its public key yb using formula alpha raised to xb mod q. So in this way user A and user B calculate their public key using their selected private numbers. So we have two global public elements q and alpha, and after that user A has its private key XA, and then calculate the public key YA using that XA. Same way user B has its private key XB and calculate the public key YB using their using his private number XB. And after that this public key YA is given to the user B and user B's public key YB is given to the user A. So how the secret key is calculated by the user A. Now user A has a public key of user B, that is YB. So K equal to, that is the secret key, K equal to user A has a YB and its private key. So YB raised to XA mod Q. This is our secret key. Now on the receiver side, that is on the user B side, user B has a public key of user B has a public key of user A. So YA raised to XB. XB is user B's private key mod Q. So in this way both the keys are calculated on sender and the receiver side, and we will prove that these both the key, mathematically we will prove that these both the key values are same. So in this way keys are exchanged between the user A and user B. So this is the simple Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm, which is a asymmetric key algorithm and used to exchange the secret key or symmetric key between the sender and the receiver. Now we will prove that the YB raised to XA mod Q, which is equal to YA raised to XB mod Q. So here we have YB raised to XA mod Q. So we know that YB is a public key of user B. So YB equal to alpha raised to XB mod Q whole raised to XA mod Q. Now using the rule of the modular arithmetic, we can rewrite it as alpha raised to XB whole raised to XA and mod Q. Next, we will exchange the order of the XA and XB. Now, next we will further we will apply the rule of the modular arithmetic and rewrite it as alpha raised to XA mod Q whole raised to XB mod Q. Here alpha raised to XA mod Q, which is a public key of A, that is YA. Okay, so YA raised to XB mod Q. Hence we have proved that the key generated on both the side are similar and the key value is similar on both the side. That is, key is exchanged between the sender A and receiver B. Next, we will see the example of one example of Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm. So Alice and Bob agrees on the prime number, that is global public elements Q equal to 23. Now we have to find out the primitive root of 23. So suppose the primitive root of Q is alpha equal to 5. So here we have taken the 5 as the primitive root of Q because alpha is the power of alpha mod Q gives us a result from 1 to 22. So here alpha is a primitive root of number 23. Next, Alice selects a private integer xa equal to 6, and Alice know the two global public elements Q equal to 23 and alpha equal to 5. So now Alice will generate its private key using YA equal to alpha raised to XA mod Q, which is equal to 5 raised to 6 mod 23, which the answer is 8. Now on the Bob side, Bob selects a private integer 15 and compute its public integer, that is YB equal to 5 raised to 15 mod 23, which is 90. Now Alice and Bob exchange their public key, that is YA is given to Bob and YB is given to Alice. So now Alice compute the key using that public element, that is K equal to YB, that is YB is here 19. So 19 raised to 6. XA is its private integer. So 19 raised to 6 mod 23, which is gives us a value 2. On the same way, Bob also calculate the key, that is K equal to YA raised to XB mod Q, that is 8 raised to 15 mod 23, which is also give a K equal to 2 value. So in this way, the secret key exchange between the Bob and Alice using the Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm. So now we will see the illustrations of this algorithm. So first of all, we all know that Alice and Bob share a prime number q and its primitive root alpha, such that alpha is the primitive root of q and alpha should be less than q. After that, Alice and Bob both generate its private key or private integer. So Alice generates its private key which is known as xa, and Bob generates its private key which is known as xb, and the value of xa and xb should be less than q. Next, Alice calculate a public key ya equal to alpha raised to xa mod q, and Bob calculate a public key yb equal to alpha raised to xb mod q. So in this way, public key is calculated using its private keys on both the side, and after that ya is given to the Bob and yb is given to the Alice. So now Alice will calculate the shared secret key using that public element and its private key, that is yb raised to xa mod q, and here on the Bob side public element ya and its private key xb, ya raised to xb mod q. So in this way key is shared between the Alice and Bob, or we can say key is generated on both the sides. So secret key is generated on both the sides using the Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm. Now we will see man in the middle attack in the Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm. Suppose Alice and Bob wish to exchange the keys, and that is the adversary, that is the attacker. So first of all, the first step in the man in the middle attack is that prepare for the attack by generating the two private integers. So that generate two private random integer, that is xt1 and xt2, and then compute the corresponding public key, that is yd1 and yd2. So that has a two pair of keys xd1 xd2, that is private keys, and public keys is yd1 and yd2. After that, Alice transmit. First of all, Alice and Bob want to transport, and that is a interpreter. So Alice transmit ya to Bob, but here the transmission is intercepted by the dart. So ya is catched by the dart, and ya is catched by the dart and transmit yd1 to Bob instead of ya, and that then calculate the key k2 equal to ya raised to, that is the public key of the Alice and the private key of the dart xd2 mod q, and then Bob received the yd1 and calculate the k1 equal to yd1 raised to xb mod q. Next, Bob transmit the yb to the Alice, which is also intercepted by the dart, and transmit the yd to the Alice and also calculate the key k1 equal to yb raised to xd1 and mod q. So Alice received yd2 and calculate k2 equal to yd2 raised to xa mod q. So here we can see that the key is exchanged between the Alice and dart, and also the dart and Bob, not between Alice and Bob. So here key is intercepted by the dart. So it is known as the man in the middle attack. So this is the illustration of this attack. So as we know that the Alice has its private key xa, and she has calculated its public key ya equal to alpha raised to xa mod q, and after that Alice has transmit its public key to the Bob, which is intercepted by the dart, and that has generated two private keys xd1 xd2, and that has the public key elements yd1 and yd2. Here yd1 equal to alpha raised to xd1 mod q, and yd2 equal to alpha raised to xd2 mod q, and that will give the public key yd2 to Alice and yd1 to the Bob. Here key should be y1 instead of yd1, but that has intercepted the y1. So here yd1 is given to Bob, and here key should be yb instead of yd2, but that has also intercepted the yb. So yd2 is given to the Alice. So here now that we generate the key k2 equal to ya raised to xd2 mod q, which has the same value as the Alice generated key by the Alice, and here Bob has his public and private key, but it has a public key of the Darth, not Alice. So the secret key generated by the Bob and the Darth is same here. So Alice and Darth share the key K2, and here Bob and Darth share the key K1. So in this way, the man in the middle attack can be performed in the Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm. So at this point, Bob and Alice think that they shared a secret key, but instead Bob and Darth shared the secret key K1 and Alice and Darth shared the secret key K2. All the future communication between the Bob and Alice is comprised in the following way. Now here, first of all, Alice sent an encrypted message using the secret key K2 and message M. So Darth intercept the encrypted message and decrypt it to recover the M using the secret key K2. Now Darth sent Bob to the message using the key K1, or it can modify the message, that is MDES, using the key K1 and MDES, where MDES is any message. So in the first case, Darth simply wants to eavesdrop the communication without the altering it, and in the second case, Darth want to modify the message which is going to the Bob. So the key exchange protocol is vulnerable to the man in the middle attack because it does not authenticate the participants. This vulnerability can be overcome with the use of digital signature and public key certificates, which we will see in the upcoming lectures. Thank you.